Hello friends, today I'll be talking about ellipses. First off, an ellipse is the shape that you obtain after cutting a cone at diagonal. There are many parts of an ellipse. There are the vertices, covertices, minor axis, major axis, and the foci. The distance from one of the foci to the center is known as C. The distance from one of the covertices to the center is known as B. The distance from one of the vertices to the center is known as A. Along with this, the distance from one of the foci to one of the covertices is also known as A. You can also find the value of C and A with the equations above. And if you haven't noticed, A has the largest value out of A, B, and C. There are two standard equations for ellipses. They are these two. As you can see, the difference between a horizontal ellipse and a vertical ellipse's standard equation is that you swap the A squared and B. Now let's get into solving some ellipse problems. As you can see here, we have the equation 49 times x minus 2 squared plus 25 times y plus 1 squared equals 1,225. Another thing to note is that this is a vertical ellipse. First, we divide 1,225 on both sides to set this equal to 1. Now we get x minus 2 squared over 25 plus y plus 1 squared over 49 equals 1. Now let's start to graph our ellipse. First, we'll start with the center. The center coordinates of an ellipse are hk. So to find hk, we just look at our equation and see that h is equal to 2 and k is equal to negative 1. So the center of our ellipse is 2, negative 1. Now we have to find the foci, vertices, and covertices. First, let's start with the covertices. Since we know that the value of b squared is 25, we can get the value of b by square rooting 25, which is 5, so b is equal to 5. And to get the covertices, all we have to do is add and subtract 5 from the center's x value, which is 2. This shows our covertices are 7, negative 1, and negative 3, negative 1. Now let's get the vertices. Because a squared is equal to 49, a will be equal to 7, so the vertices are 7 units above and below the center. This makes our vertices 2, 6, and 2, negative 8. The last thing to find is the foci. If you don't remember, the distance between the center and one of the foci is c. Since we know that a squared equals c squared plus b squared, we can adapt the equation so that c will equal the square root of a squared minus b squared. Now we have c is equal to the square root of 49 minus 25. 49 minus 25 is 24, so c is equal to square root of 24. This reduces to 2 root 6. Like with the vertices, we must add and subtract 2 root 6 to the center's y value. So our foci will be 2, negative 1 plus 2 root 6, and 2, negative 1 minus 2 root 6. Okay, so now all we have to do is connect all the dots of the covertices and vertices. And there you go, we have an ellipse. Hopefully your drawing is better than mine, but yeah. Okay, so now let's start some practice problems. Okay, so here we have an equation for an ellipse, and we have to find the foci, vertices, covertices, center, and we have to graph it. I'm going to give you 40 seconds, starting now. Okay, time's up. So first we divide 256 on both sides to set this equal to 1. This gets us x minus 1 squared divided by 16 plus y squared over 4 is equal to 1. So now we can see the center is 1, 0, and we can graph it easily right here. We can also tell that this is a horizontal ellipse because of the fact that the larger number, which is 16, is under x minus 1 squared. Now we know that 16 is equal to a squared, which means a is equal to 4. Because this is horizontal ellipse, we add and subtract 4 to the center's x value, which is 1. So this says that our vertices are -3, 0, and 5, 0. And we could just plot those easily. So 1, 2, 3 backwards, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positive. So those are our vertices. Now for the covertices, we know that b squared is equal to 4. So b must be equal to 2. So we add 2 to and subtract 2 to 0. So up and down 2. As for the foci, we just need to find the value of c. C's will be equal to the square root of a squared minus b squared. Since we already know a squared and b squared is 16 and 4, 16 minus 4 is 12. So all we need to do is find the square root of 12. The square root of 12 is 2 root 3. So we add and subtract 2 root 3 to 1. So the foci are 1 plus and minus 2 root 3, 0. Okay, I'm going to make my dots a little bit bigger so that it is easier to see. So I'm going to put 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. Okay, so the foci should be right around, I'm going to make these foci dots a little smaller. So they're going to be around 1, 2, 3, 4, a little right halfway point there, and 1, 2, right around here. Yeah, ish. It's really hard to draw. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's it, guys. Goodbye and do your homework. Smiley face.